Priorities!
I'm sorry. We seem to have lost Mrs. Wilshire this morning and have regained with Captain Welsh Sparrow.
Welcome to the Holyrood Happy Hour Shep.
Shep?
Shep. I'm a pirate. Something that'll make you laugh. I was in with the Year 7s yesterday on Key Worker Day.
Key Worker Day.
And one of Year 7s didn't quite have enough work. So I suggested the podcast, educational half hour.
Education.
And she was listening to
45 minutes.
She was listening to it with her headphones on.
Right.
But there are captions, there are subtitles.
Oh,
If you put that, oh my gosh, if you put the subtitles on.
They're guessy ones though.
Well, no, it seemed pretty solid because as I walked past, I couldn't hear what she was listening to. I knew she was listening to the podcast, but I could see her screen. And the captions were going, no, not Benedict Cumberband, Benedict Cumberbatch. As the subtitles, they were just like, oh no. And there's something so kind of final about being put into subtitles.
What is his surname?
Cumberbatch. No.
Cumberbatch.
No, I don't think there's a bird.
I don't think there is.
Wait, we cannot do this again because then that's going to be 2 pods where the subtitles are talking about Cumberbands
We
versus
have
Cumberbatch.
got a jammy pack. We've got a jam-packed pod.
Does it always have to be jam? Could we not have a custard-packed pod?
Oh, I do like a custard donut.
Yeah.
I think I like a custard donut more than I like a jam donut.
Controversial!
Could you imagine a jam and custard donut?
I'm sure they exist somewhere.
Ooh.
America, I'm going to say. I was pretty pleased. I think the please stop making me sad plea has hit home.
Oh, okay.
Because pod 4 has got 10 thumbs up.
Yay!
And only 1 thumb down.
Oh, I'm so pleased for you.
So
I know it's been cutting you deep.
I'm feeling better.
Oh,
I'm feeling
well
better.
done.
It's the word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week.
Mrs. Wilshire, take it away.
Okay, so interesting word of the week this week, and I think it's a really interesting one based on how life is at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So this week's word of the week is obligatory.
Obligatory.
No, obligatory. That's how you pronounce it. Which means required by a legal, moral or other rule and is compulsory. So for example, use of seatbelts in cars is now obligatory.
Nice. Okay. Wearing a mask in the supermarket is now obligatory.
Yes. So yeah, it's a really interesting word and it's quite relevant to the current see who must not be named setting of life.
I would agree.
I know that sanitising hands isn't obligatory, but it should be. I mean, you've always said that you were washing your hands way before it was cool.
Yeah, like I wash my hands after the bathroom, I wash my hands sometimes before the bathroom, I wash my hands before I eat, I wash my hands after I eat, basically anything that makes my hands feel gross.
If you've touched a even slightly questionable sticky surface, you're washing those hands.
The recorder that we use, the whole of the outside is sticky.
Oh yeah, it's
and
upsetting.
I'm not quite sure. I think it's just because it's degraded over time. But I have it wrapped in a paper towel just because I cannot. As someone who has OCD, it's very difficult to touch sticky things without just feeling quite.
Well, I mean, I don't have OCD and I don't enjoy touching sticky things. So.
No, neither does Nightingale.
Is that? Oh no, he doesn't like anything
He doesn't
sticky.
he doesn't like stickers.
So there you go. Obligatory is your word of the week.
We're going over to 99 now, who's got some more maths facts and I think maybe even a maths joke.
Hello, Holyrooders. First fact from me is that Romans didn't consider 0 to be a number at all. Therefore, they are in total 0 zeros in Roman numerals. The Romans didn't have a symbol to represent 0. It was just a blank space because they just didn't think it was a number at all. So that's my interesting fact. And I have a problem for you. So it's a maths problem and I would like you to email your workings to ablackmore@gaps.holyroodacademy.com. So the results are going to go to Miss Blackmore and then she is going to help me organise some prizes. So this is her maths problem. Okay. This is in honour of the Junior Bake Off that was on TV recently. If Emily used 240 grams of flour when making a batch of 12 cupcakes and her recipe uses a ratio of 4 to 6 sugar to flour, how many cupcakes could Emily make if she used 1.6 kilograms of sugar? Answers please to Miss Blackmore, whose email address is ablackmore@gaps.holyroodacademy.com. The maths joke for the week. Why did the student get upset when his teacher called him average? It was a mean thing to say.
We're going over to Nanook now
Yes, Nanook.
for our World Customs.
Yes.
Hey guys, Nanak here for your next instalment of Traditions Around the World, and this one brings us to England. Yep, here in our very own country, and actually not too far from where we live here in Somerset. This is a cheese rolling, and basically it's found in Gloucester, and it's been held in Gloucester for 200 years. Now I'm sure there's many cheese lovers out there. I'm not majorly a fan, but my husband is certainly a fan and has eaten his weight in cheese over Christmas. So this one's for you guys, a bit like him. Basically, participants stand on top of the Cooper's Hill in Gloucester waiting for an enormous wheel to roll a double Gloucester cheese off the hill. When the cheese starts rolling, everyone tries to chase it. And basically, because you're on a massive hill, everyone slips and slides and falls about, knocking each other over, which I think is pretty hilarious. And the first one who catches it, catches the cheese that's obviously been rolled down, can keep it. So, one for you guys. Not far to travel for that one. So, do enjoy.
Thank you very much, Nanook. It's my favourite section with my favourite correspondent.
You and me got a whole lot of history.
No, because now you're going to mess up the editing. Can you do that again, please?
Nope.
Do it again.
Nope.
I'll do it for you.
You wouldn't.
You and me
got a whole lot of history. Whoa.
This could be the greatest.
Nero is here with us for your
Nero
weekly...
is hero.
Nero the hero, just like that.
By the way, that's another Disney reference. That is a
When he
Hercules
smiled, the girls went wild.
Okay,
with
This will be Hercules, I'm
reference.
assuming.
It is Hercules.
Finally gets the
Doing
references.
his education.
Been doing your Disney
Using the
homework.
corn that I gave him.
Yeah.
That's a later point in the podcast that isn't going to make any sense right now, but it will, guys. It will. Sorry, Nero, carry on.
Anyway, Nero is here for your weekly dose. I mean, this is a hotly contended slot. I mean, we've had students get in touch, say it's their favourite slot. Obviously, I live with a very small, angry person who is
Shout it
their
out
favourite.
solely to you.
Yeah, there you go.
This is just epic.
No
And
pressure.
I
but
intend
it
to keep
needs
this
be
epic.
good.
So this week is full of Death and Hamilton.
Nice.
Death and Hamilton.
Death and Hamilton. I mean, what a mix.
Did you finish it?
I have been somewhat delayed in my watching of
Can I
Hamilton.
just say though, on Disney Plus, and I love this, he has changed his profile to Nero.
Yes.
Made me so happy.
That's hilarious. Anyway, right, what's happening this week?
Well, Monday the 1st, it marks one of probably the most epic deaths in history. Queen Elizabeth I signs the death warrant for Mary, Queen of Scots.
Ah, but did she?
Forcibly.
Highly contended.
I think it was
Signing a
forced.
death warrant, does that mean that they want people to go out and find Mary Queen of
No,
Scots?
she
Oh,
was
no,
in, she was
she was in
in captivity for 16 years.
So that's it. So that's Queen Elizabeth going,
Well,
yeah, chop of her head.
well, she did. She signed the death warrant and said, "Yeah, chop off her head," and then claimed that she didn't mean it and wanted it back, but they'd already executed
I'm
it.
sorry, a death warrant is a pretty substantial piece of paper.
Elizabeth did
nice.
this. Elizabeth did this. You've met my smallest person that lives in my house. How many times has she said one thing and then changed her mind and then?
Yeah, but she's 9.
I mean, have you ever seen the Blackadder sketch where she gets them to chop off loads of heads and they do it all in one? It's a bit like that.
Yeah. So they think that she tried to claim that she didn't mean it because
Yeah.
she was worried about her relations with the Scots, basically.
Yes. But some say that she forcibly signed it. This, I hate to classify this as history because I remember it happening.
Yeah, that upsets.
But
This is going to
this
upset
does
me.
upset me,
This
but-
is going to upset me.
In theory, it is history. 2003.
No, it's barely 2000s now. Someone says. Oh, don't you dare.
I was 11.
It's 13.
I started here.
2003.
But there you go. This day in history, Starting at Holyrood.
Well, no, she didn't start in February.
Well, almost.
Go on then, 2003.
The Columbia shuttle disintegrates on its re-entry into Earth.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Didn't they have a school teacher aboard?
They did, yes.
He'd won a competition to go to space.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can count me out. Space, no way in heck.
No, you wouldn't get me in space.
No, I'm not keen.
The thought of not being able
I mean,
to
I don't trust swimming pools because it's full of stuff that you can't breathe in. So give them a wide berth. That's the world saying you need to stay here. You're not allowed up here.
No, if other people want to go and adventure, fill the boots, mate. Or fill their little space boots, that's fine. I am not leaving this planet anytime soon.
No, I've seen Apollo 13.
I've seen Gravity.
No.
Whoa.
1851 as well. Mary
There
Shelley.
we go, we're
Mary
back to-
Shelley
Back to better history now.
wrote Frankenstein.
Yes.
18 when?
1851, she dies of a brain tumour.
Oh. I mean, she has been dead for over 200 years, so.
Frankenstein is a great book. You ever read it?
Isn't Frankenstein what we thought we were watching at the National, and we actually ended up watching Jekyll and Hyde, which is a very different book.
No, it's the other way around. We thought we were watching Jekyll and Hyde and it turned out to be Frankenstein.
Yes.
Because Benedict
Yes.
Cumberbatch.
No. Don't
Yeah.
start that again.
Cumberbund.
Benedict Cucumber.
No.
Anyway.
Oh dear. The 2nd of February is Queen Victoria's funeral in 1901.
Oh, big
Massive,
funeral.
massive event. She was been on the throne for 63 years, had set the record at that point, and she actually stated exactly what she wanted to happen. She wanted a funeral fit for a soldier's daughter, and that's exactly what she got. She also said that she didn't want people wearing black, she wanted them wearing white.
Oh.
1349, Black Death. By this point, it's already been in England nearly 8 months.
I'm not sure I'm okay to talk about a pandemic.
In a pandemic.
Hey, the society survived.
Yeah, everybody survived. Well, some people survived.
No, I think you can say everybody
Right,
survived.
survived,
Not
but-
many people survived the
Well,
Black
at this point, there were about 200 people a day dying in London.
Death.
Yeah, but
200 people.
population was way lower then.
Yeah. But 3rd of February, 1815, is the first commercial cheese factory is established in Switzerland.
I
In
love
what
cheese.
year?
1815.
1815, they're
I
making
love
commercial cheese.
Who would think
Cheddar,
it?
brie, camembert, nacho.
What do you call cheese that doesn't belong to you?
Nacho cheese! Badum!
I'm going to move on to the 4th.
Yeah.
And I hate to call this history because it's another 2000.
You're upset. You're
I
really
know, I'm
upset with me
sorry.
this week.
But 2004, Facebook launches.
Whoa.
That's got to be a pretty epic day in history.
2004.
2004.
2004. It's only 16 years
16
old.
years old. Here comes the Hamilton link.
Finally.
Hamilton link. The 5th of February. Okay.
Here comes the Hamilton.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here comes the Hamilton, the moment you've been waiting for.
Now, if I were to say to you the line, oceans rise,
Empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love.
It's the king. It's the king.
It
King
is.
George III. King
It
George
is King George
III.
III. There is another line in that song which this directly links to as well, and that is I think it's something along the lines of, when you leave, I'll go mad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah?
When you're gone, I go mad.
When you're gone, I go mad. Well, on this day, he's actually declared insane.
Mad. He's called Mad King George.
And in 1952, there's a very...
Churchill.
No.
No, I've seen The Crown.
Come on.
Come on.
Is it another death?
It is another death.
52.
King?
It is.
Oh!
Yes.
George the...
6?
6th. Yeah. George VI.
She can be taught!
Woohoo!
George VI dies of a pulmonary thrombosis.
I thought he had cancer.
He did.
Oh, so
As
it's
well.
secondary. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've seen The Crown. We've all seen The Crown. Thank you, Nero.
Thank you.
As
A
usual.
pleasure as always.
Super.
Well, very well researched. For those of you that are wondering, he's got a little notebook that he comes in with each week with all of his. Wait, is that all that's in there? Is it just your This Week in History notes?
Pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
and a plan to take over the world.
Yeah, my plan for world domination is in here, but
Why are you telling people that?
Well, they don't know where
they don't know,
the
they don't know
notebook's
what my
kept.
notebook is.
On
And
Mr. Tozer, probably.
I'm glad that you survived. You've lived to see another week. Clearly, smallest human hasn't got to you yet.
Not
so
yet.
We look forward
It's because I
We'll wait for
supplied
the
her
interview.
with gifts from Claire's accessories, so she's fine.
Oh,
we,
that's-
we
She's
look
just trying to
forward
buy
to
you-
hopefully seeing you again next week.
I will be ever vigilant.
Constant vigilance!
Beware the Ides of March. Beware the Imogens of March. Thank you, Nero! End of This Week in History now.
Okay, now I would say, as I'm sure you guessed from our room of requirement last week, but I think we made it a bit too hard, because I'm pretty sure Mrs. Holland is the only person who got it right.
Well, I don't know, she gave us 2 answers.
Yeah, I'll be counting it. I mean,
I mean,
Charlie...
we didn't know which room we were in.
Charlie had a guess.
Charlie didn't
Didn't
guess.
quite get it right. Miss Robinson said she didn't have a clue where we were. I've had Grace had a guess but didn't get it right, and Chloe had a guess and didn't get it right. Did you have any guesses?
Oh, I had Kay and said she was in the right area but couldn't give me the specific room number, which I think is really hard. She's in year 7.
Well, I mean, also, I got the room number wrong,
Well,
so can we really judge Kay? So, for those of you that didn't get it and it's been bugging you, Mrs. Holland, we were in C3, which is Mr. Webb's food
technology
tech room. And Mr. Webb did some whisking for us in a bowl, and some lifting up and down on some chopping boards, and then threw us out.
So,
Okay, did you get it? We were in C1, which is Mr. Webb's classroom, but I don't think he's seen
I
us.
don't think he's in
That's
here
good
yet.
because it's C3. Now get out of my classroom. Move now, out.
So that's where we were last week. We're now going to go over to the
This
new room of
week's
requirement.
Using the power of post-production.
New week, new room.
We are in the fifth room of requirement.
Fifth room of requirement. So we are going to give you your 2 sound clues and your 1 visual clue. So your first sound clue is this.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good sound clue. And your second sound clue is this.
Oh, that is also a good sound clue.
That's a good sound clue.
The visual clue. Visual clue.
I can see a seat covered in splatters.
Oh, nice. Very good.
And actually, I think they struggled with our room of requirement last week, so maybe we should give another clue. It's
Bunting.
It's technology heavy in here.
Oh, it is tech heavy in here. Yeah. Good shout. Well done.
Brilliant. Where are we? So there you have it.
Where
Where
are
are we? I think we've tried to be nice. We've tried to make it a little bit easier. So think through the clues, listen to the sounds, and see if you can guess where we are and let us know. Have a guess, get in touch, let us know where you think we might be.
It's my favourite section.
Here we go. Do you know what? I can confidently say that I know there's a waiting list now.
Take it away. Whoop, whoop.
Big fish, little fish, couple box. Big fish, little fish, couple box. excited. Oh, I've got some good stuff. Good stuff with pod positivity this week. Oh, pod positivity, pod positivity, pod positivity. Okay, so the first one Now, a couple of these are UK news stories, which I thought were really nice. So the first one is, the headline was, Pupils' Pizza Donation Leaves Stoke-on-Trent Nurses in Tears. So a nurse said she was lost for words after school pupils clubbed together to buy pizza for staff at their local critical care unit. Which I just think is brilliant.
That is so lush.
So this nurse tweeted a photo of the pizza boxes. Look how many pizza boxes there are.
Whoa.
So tweeted a picture of the pizza boxes, and after an investigation, it revealed that they were a gift from a group of sixth form students from a local school.
Aww,
It's so nice. And she sort of said that, you know, at a time where healthcare staff feel so low, responses like this remind us that we're supported. And the nurse who had been in charge on the day shift was in tears because she'd barely eaten all day and she was a little bit emotional, which is just really nice.
And that just goes to show as well that, like, so people are literally working so hard at the moment that
Random acts of kindness are just going so far. And it actually says mystery still surrounds which school the pupils attend, with the nurse saying the only clue was that the pizzas came from a firm based in Staffordshire. But there is a group of sixth form students out there that sent, and there's a decent number of 8 pizzas.
And
that's not cheap.
no.
To a critical care unit just to say you're awesome.
Yeah.
And sticking with the small acts of kindness, the other UK news story that I saw this week, which I thought was brilliant, was Sibsey children on secret art mission to thank teachers. So children have surprised teachers and school staff with a special display of secret artwork to thank them for their help during the COVID pandemic.
Aww.
So staff at Sibsey Primary in Lincolnshire were greeted with dozens of thank you messages attached to the school fence when they arrived to school on Monday morning. And the display was put together overnight by parents who kept the project secret from the school, which is just brilliant. And then they interviewed one of the parents who was involved in organising it, and she said that she felt staff were going above and beyond for our children, so we just wanted to say a massive thank you, which is really nice. And the head teacher, Mr. Wright, said, I'm trying not to get emotional and have been pretending I have allergies. It's really very touching.
Oh, why? Like, let be emotional, dude.
There's something in my eye.
Yeah, but you know, like, I just think, like, you know, if you feel emotional, if you want to cry, have a cry.
How nice is that?
That is really
I just
nice.
thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
And also a couple of things that have popped up on my social media that I've sort of gone, I like that, I might mention that in Pod Positivity. I think I've sent them both to you. I saw something that someone put up that said, you have no control over who people think you are, so don't worry about it. If they want to hate some fictional version of you that exists in their mind, let them. Don't drain yourself winning over people you can't win over. Keep your cup full, go where the kindness is.
That's really nice. You've told me to follow that. I'm going to try.
It's, you know, you're just sort of fighting with a fictitious version of yourself. You can't win, so go for the people who like you, which I thought was quite nice.
No, that is very good.
And then this one was really interesting. And this kind of plays into a lot of our students, I imagine, are up with current affairs and are watching the news. And there's been a big kind of argument recently about vaccines and the sharing of vaccines and the fact that we're really lucky as a richer nation to have access to more vaccinations, and it's about sort of cascading that down and sharing it with the rest of the world. So there was a farmer who grew excellent quality corn. Every year he won the award for best grown corn. One year, a newspaper reporter interviewed him and learned something interesting about how he grew it. The reporter discovered that the farmer shared his seeds with all his neighbours. The reporter asked him, how can you afford to share your best seed corn with your neighbours when they're entering corn in a competition against yours each year? Why, sir, said the farmer, didn't you know? The wind picks up pollen from the ripening corn and swirls it from field to field. If my neighbours grow inferior corn, cross-pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn. If I'm to grow good corn, I must help my neighbours also grow good corn. So this is with our lives. Those who want to live meaningfully and well must help enrich the lives of others, for the value of a life is measured by the lives it touches. And those who choose to be happy must help others find happiness, for the welfare of each is bound up with the welfare of all.
That is awesome.
I really liked it as a message.
Yeah,
and you know what? We're seeing it across the school. And I had this fantastic group lesson that I did with my Year 7s last week, where they gave each other feedback on a piece of creative writing that they've done.
Yeah.
That is sharing their corn. You know, because you've got some students who find creative writing really easy, and you've got some students that really struggle with it. And so those ones that find it really easy could easily just write their piece and sit back and go, right, pen drop, I'm done, aren't I? Great. Yeah. And they're the ones that are always the most involved in giving really fantastic, constructive feedback to other people. And it's sharing that gift, it's sharing something that they find easy. Building each other up rather than knocking each other down. Because there is that theory, isn't there, that some people put people down to make themselves feel bigger. But in the long run, it just doesn't work. If everyone is the best version of themselves, you live in a better society. You have better corn. There you go. So that is Napoleon's thought for the week. How can you, this week, share your corn with a neighbour, metaphorically? Don't go and give the neighbours corn, that's a bit weird.
Well, hey, if you want to give them corn, go and give them corn. Maybe they might appreciate the corn. Maybe they're hungry, alright?
But yeah, so, you know, how have you shared your corn with someone else this week?
Are you actually asking me?
No, that's it's a rhetorical question.
End of positivity now.
Okay, so we've got Lexi here giving us, Lexi from year 7.
Lexi from year 7.
Doing our joke of the pod. She's already laughing at herself, which is going to go well.
Where do polar bears keep their money?
I don't know, Lexi. Where do polar bears keep their money?
In a snowbank.
Hey! Okay, and we've now got Chloe in year 7 who is going to give us our positive thought for the week. Take it away, Chloe.
2 things you're in total control of in life are your attitude and your effort.
Really
nice.
good.
Thank
really
you very
good
much.
Thank you,
Brilliant.
Chloe. Thank you very much, girls.
Shoutouts now!
Oh, okay, so we have gone a bit rogue this week.
We have.
And we've been out and about. We went out and about at break time in school. We managed to catch 4 out of the 5 school heads of year, and we've got them all to record a little shout out to their year groups. So here is Mrs. Carlisle, Mr. Walker-Jones, Mr. Slinger and Mr. Reed.
Hello Year 7, this is Mrs. Carlisle here. I am stood outside the hub. The weather is totally miserable, but we are having lots of fun here. Just something for you to bear in mind as well. Me and Miss Wilshire are very excited. We are working on a bit of a choir challenge, so keep an eye out on the year group page, please, for that one. So all those songstresses of you out there, stay tuned. Exciting stuff.
Ooh, you heard it here first. Exciting exclusive. And I've got Mr. Slinger.
Hello there, they're fabulous year 10s. Unlike Mrs. Carlisle, who was just in some dark and gloomy place, it's absolutely baking sunshine here. It's absolutely fabulous. I'm walking around in like a short sleeve shirt because it is just absolutely glorious weather. We wish you were here enjoying it with us, but obviously you're sort of stuck in your sort of bedrooms, kitchens, dining rooms, or wherever it is you listen to this podcast from. So absolutely have a fabulous time. I'm enjoying seeing the half a dozen to 12 people that turn up in school, but they are looking a little bit miserable now. So I'd like to see your faces. So hopefully we will see you soon. But enjoy and keep listening, reading The Giver. It's getting weird, but we're getting towards the exciting conclusion.
It is getting weird. Mr. Slinger taking slightly artistic license with the description of the weather there, but we'll let it go. And we found Mr. Walker-Jones. So all you year 9s out there.
Hi year 9, hope you're all okay. Certainly missing you here in school. Make sure you keep reading, the tutor reading in the morning, okay? A lot of time and effort's going into that, so I hope you're enjoying it. And on Thursday, during my assembly, I am launching a competition for year 9, so make sure you listen to my assembly on Thursday. Hope to see you soon, thank you.
Podcast exclusive there, you heard it here first. Heard it here first. And we found the lesser spotted Mr. Reed for year 11. Yeah, we've got 4 heads in year now.
Hi Year 11, just wanted to say hello, it's been a while. I hope you've been keeping track of our year page. That's where all the information that I have is coming out to you at the moment. On Monday there is an apprenticeship show that would be quite useful if you are into apprenticeships. Please find the link on the Google Drive. And I hope all your live lessons are going really well this week. I've had loads of positive come back from it, and you seem to be enjoying it. If you are having any problems with accessing live lessons, please email me. Thanks Year 11, hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reed.
Do you know what I really like? I like the fact that you can hear the seagulls.
Yeah.
So you know that we were
we are out and about.
We are in school, we're out and about, we were on the
2
topside
metre
playground.
distance, keeping nice and safe.
Keeping our distances, we've got a lovely long cable that we're holding at arm's length.
Yeah.
And so that's really nice. Opportunity for the heads of year to give you as a year group a shout out. Some good shout outs. I'm going to start with a hilarious exchange between Joe and I at the end of last week. Joe is in one of my year 8 classes, and he sent me a message going, my thing to make me feel proud is that Arsenal have got 16 points out of a possible 18 in their last 6 matches. Wow.
Nice.
And I messaged back going, great fact, Joe. Shame about the team. ...
Oh! Ouch.
And then he replied, Arsenal are the best team. Who do you support? And then I wasn't brave enough to say Spurs, because, you know,
Woo! Spurs!
Arsenal and Spurs are not friends.
Yeah. I've got one from Olivia, who did send this in on Thursday, so just missed last week's pod.
It's fair.
So Olivia in Year 7 says, I'm not entirely sure, but I think Nightingale and Napoleon are in the upper side hall, so it was a room of requirement, yes?
Nice.
So Olivia, you were correct, well done. She then says, I love your podcast and I've listened to every episode 10 times!
Woohoo!
Thank you, Olivia.
Olivia's driving up the numbers.
Thank you so much. Oh, and one more thing. Listen up, Napoleon. Have you got your ears on? Can you hear what I'm
Have
saying?
I got my ears on?
Shush. Are you listening? I also think bats are so cute.
Well,
hear that?
I see your cute bat.
Check it.
Shout out Olivia, and I raise you. Millie has been in touch, aka Newton, okay? And aside from sending us her fun fact, which she has done, which we have enjoyed, she has also finished her email to me saying, also, is Nightingale scared of an animal? I could do some fun facts about them. It's only fair, seeing as I've done some about bats.
Well,
so look forward to lots of fun facts about spiders.
No, because this is the problem. You revealed what animal you don't like. This kid over here ain't gonna do it.
Well,
I'm not gonna tell
I've
people.
already told Millie it's spiders, so...
Dude, that's not an animal, that's an insect. Actually, that's an arachnid, if we're going to be...
Also, I need to finish Millie's shout out because it's very good.
Okay,
So I got, hi Mrs Wiltshire, which I'll let her off, but really, we should be using our code names, Millie, come on. Jemima and I have just finished listening to the podcast and it was the best yet. Her little face lit up when she was mentioned, and she's currently, this is absolutely brilliant, she's currently looking over my shoulder saying, I go to Hanbridge School, Millie, tell her I go to Hanbridge! She got up and danced with Rocking at the Rood and says, well done to the person who did it. It was epic.
Oh, there you are, Chase. Did you hear that?
Fun, really good
Yeah.
feedback there. So epic.
I've got a shout out from Phoenix in Year 10, who says, this week's podcast, that's last Friday's podcast was amazing. Really enjoyed the history segment. Absolutely loved it. So my shout out goes to Mr. Roper in particular and all of the history department. Thank you for setting a good amount of work and making it interesting.
Nice quality shout outs here.
Phoenix
Oh, well
always
done,
does
Phoenix.
shout outs.
Also, I would just like to say that Phoenix very much enjoyed the history segment, despite you putting in a very rude 6 hours later into mine and Mr. Tozer's very interesting conversation.
It's funny, but like sometimes you two just like wander off.
It's hard. It's hard.
I can't help but mentally check out because you guys just kind of like get overexcited, and I have no idea what you're. I reckon I could leave the room, and I don't think you guys.
I think
would
sometimes
notice.
mentally you do.
Yeah, I mentally check out.
Anyway.
I've got a little monkey that goes around and by going.
I've had one from Mrs. Evans over at Red Star. Great pod 4, got me through planning some online poetry lessons. So
you are welcome.
Good background music for good planning.
I mean, I can sing to you. If I don't know what song that was meant to be.
If I should stay.
We can't do any more than that.
Well, Miss Robinson has been in touch saying that she loved her shout out on the pod. What a nice surprise. She has literally no idea where we are in the room of requirement.
Amazing.
I think it's been too hard. But you know, so Miss Robinson enjoyed her shout out greatly.
And Mrs. Holland enjoyed her shout out as well. Nice. End of shout outs.
Lovely. Right, now I know you shouldn't base a new pod segment on the fact that I can sing, but I kind of got quite stuck on the fact that I would be able to
You only ever
sing.
have new pod segments because of the song that it's attached to.
Exactly. So we're going over to... You're featured in the Hall of Fame!
Whoa.
Holyrood's gonna know your name! So this is our Hall of Fame segment, which Miss Holland has put together for us.
Yeah, she's worked really
Now,
hard.
she's done some really clever jiggery-pokery, and as you all know, teachers are sending home Hero of the Week postcards to students that have done fantastic work. And I know I've sent some, I've enjoyed sending them. I know you've sent some, Miss Wilshire, all teachers are sending them. But what Miss Holland has managed to do is collate that information to
As
give
a maths
us,
teacher, I bet she loves a good spreadsheet.
to give us the top 4 students that have had the most postcards this fortnight. So you are, the next 4 people are in our very first Holyrood Hall of Fame. And they are Josh P in year 9 with 7 postcards. Amazing. And then we've got 3 students, all in different year groups, who have had 6 postcards. So we've got Ellie K in year 13, Ben P in year 8, and Lani C in year 10, all with 6 Hero of the Week postcards. Amazing stuff.
That is so cool, guys.
So absolutely well done to those people. Public appreciation, public praise. You guys are rocking it.
And if you want to be on the Hall of Fame next week, make sure that you are making a big noise to your class teachers, because they're the ones that do it.
And I quite like that. I quite like that we've got no control over the Hall of Fame. That is down to student effort in the remote learning.
Well done.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
7 postcards. Amazing. It's the end of the pod.
End of the pod.
End of the pod. End of the pod. End of
Week 5. End of week 5.
End of week 5.
Next week is the last week before
week.
you guys get a week off, a break from your screens. You can run around outside.
Oh, that's
only
gonna be so nice.
with people 1 or more.
And like next
One or
week,
less.
it's going to be our last edition of the Holyrood Happy Hour for this term. I think we need to get Mr. McCormick back on. Mr. McCormick! We need to get Mr. McCormick
We will
back
ask
on.
Mr. McCormick.
Maybe some just some words of encouragement, some inspirational words. I'm not gonna pigeonhole him to something as specific as a limerick this time, but I think it'd be nice to hear from Mr. McCormick as we close this half term
We will send him a nicely worded email.
of remote learning. I mean, he's a big fan. He does listen. So, Nightingale, who are you shouting out to this week?
I would like to shout out to Mrs. Shawn and Miss Munro, who are the
I love Mrs. Shaw.
hashtag PA Collective. My fellow performing arts heads of department. We're forming quite a strong bond.
Performing Arts Crew.
I think we are the Performing Arts Coalition.
The People's Republic of the Performing Arts.
So yeah, I'd like to say hi to them because it's difficult being remote learning, but it's difficult remote learning in a practical subject.
Yeah,
So
it is hard.
I think all 3 of us, and obviously our wonderful teams as well, are trying really, really hard to ensure that we are creating fun lessons, which is really difficult in a subject where you're up and about and you're moving around, or you're using.
I think the students are doing a cracking job.
They really are doing a fantastic job.
Like, the number of submissions.
And it makes all the planning totally worth it.
Yeah, that's
So
a really nice
thank
shout out.
you. Cheers.
Shout out. I've got a good shout out this week as well.
Go on.
I would very specifically like to shout out to Mr. Bennett, because
Oh yeah.
I'm in on a Monday for my key work day, and Mr. Bennett is in the LRC with me and the Year 7s. And you know what? It's so nice to see him every week. He's always happy. He always wants to have a chat. He always asks about my weekend.
Aww.
I just think he's a real ray of positivity for me in my week, and I look forward to seeing him on a Monday. And he's so interested, and he knows so much interesting stuff as well. I really genuinely feel like Mr. Bennett is interested in my weekend.
Aww.
And he puts up with me every Monday. And every week he cracks the same joke, which cracks me up every time, which is, "Oh, fancy seeing you here." Like, we're not scheduled to be here.
It's brilliant.
See,
Mr. Bennett.
I do love Mr. Bennett.
Oh,
So,
that's
hi, Mr.
amazing.
Bennett. I think he's probably too cool to be listening, because he's super cool.
He is super cool.
But I've put it out there that I've said hello to Mr. Bennett. So if any of the sevens are listening in the LRC to this, like I know a couple were when I was in, you
Make
can
sure
turn
Mr.
around
make
and
sure
go, Mr. Bennett, you've totally had a shout out. If you hear a staff member get a shout out, go and tell them, go congratulate them if you're in school. Be like, "Hey, Mr. Bennett, you're super cool." So that's my shout out this week.
Nice. Mr. Bennett. Good stuff.
So it's been a quiet week, I would say.
Yeah.
It's been quieter.
Rather eventful.
I mean, no snow. I mean, tiny amount of potential snow at the weekend. I think maybe some of our students might also be. I'm feeling it's a slog. It's been a slog for me this week. I've struggled.
Yeah,
It's felt a bit. And actually, really interestingly, it is Children's Mental Health Week this week.
It is, yeah.
So, sort of talking.
Year 7s, I know Mrs. Carlisle's posted something on the assembly group, so if you haven't checked it out, do have a look. So it's really good stuff.
All the students in school yesterday watched the Children's Mental Health Assembly, and I would say, for even any year group, if you haven't seen it, it's really worth watching. If you can just Google Children's Mental Health, and on the website it takes you through to an assembly. And I just think it's easy, I think, for people to be like, oh, I'm fine, yeah, everything's great. But it's much more effective when people go, I've struggled this week.
Yeah, be honest. Because the thing is as well, like, everybody has a moment of, you know, struggles. I don't think anybody could be peppy and positive the whole time. So I think it's really important that, you know, you're talking about it. And, you know, gosh, guys, we're surviving a pandemic here. You know, you've got to
living through history.
Living through history. You can only do what you can do. And you know what? If you got up in the morning, if you had breakfast, if you cleaned your teeth, and you read a book, do you know what? That's okay. That's all you can manage for the day. You've still done that.
I'm particularly trying to learn how to have those conversations with my own children, because it's so easy to kind of go, oh, you're fine. Yeah. And actually it's really important to go, I'm really sorry you're feeling that way. Let's sit down and talk about it. So particularly this week with children's mental health, it's important to have those conversations with people. So if you are struggling and there is someone you can open up to, you will feel so much better for having that conversation.
Your self-esteem is a bit like I love this analogy, your self-esteem is a bit like a seed, and you have to water it every day. So if you don't water it, it doesn't grow. And so you should look in the mirror and you should talk to yourself. And you know, some people say that talking to yourself is the first sign of madness. I do it all the time. I always talk to myself.
And you're mad.
I'm not mad. I'm flamboyant. So you know, you look in the mirror and you say, you pick one thing that you like about yourself, one good thing that you've done in the last couple of weeks, or that you, you know, someone that you've helped, or even it could be so small. You know, like I let my dog out every morning because I'm really reliable, and you just say that to yourself. You know, over and over.
It's easy to dismiss that, isn't it? But reliable—that's a great trait. It's a great trait to be reliable. 100%. So yeah, celebrate your successes and don't be afraid to open up if you are struggling. Find someone, anyone. Your teachers are here, your tutors are here, your heads of year are here.
Parents, carers, siblings, friends.
And you guaranteed probably if you reach out, someone will probably say, oh yeah, I've had a bad week too.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So that's your challenge for this week, chaps. Being a bit more open about our mental health and how we feel. You are doing a great job.
Yeah.
You've got one more week and then a little week of freedom where I've got a mental image of Nightingale running around the garden going, I'm free!
I might get my hammock out.
Nice. I'm not quite sure we're there yet with the weather, despite Mr. Slinger's very misleading description on the weather.
Keep yourself safe.
Keep washing those hands.
Keep tuning into
the Triple H.